Welcome to day 5 of your video marketing and social media bootcamp. It's Jenny Aldretti with Flux Mortgage Team, and George and I are happy you're here. As always, we love helping you grow your business, so if you have a client that we can help with your home loan needs, we are here to help you. Now, some of you are dying to start making videos. And yes, I'm going to give you some content ideas for the weekend so that if you're ready to make videos, you can go ahead and get on it. But I'm going to do that at the end. But the reality is, if you're making videos and you don't have a strategy, then the conversion will not be as ideal. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret as to why we've been so successful with video. And it's not just using social media. It's actually using text and email. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in social media DMs as well. But today I'm mostly going to be focusing on the text aspect because a lot of it you can apply to email as well. So first, let's talk about why text messaging is so ideal for real estate agents and why it must be part of your marketing plan. Like anything, you need to go where your consumers are and where they're easy to reach. Americans, on average, check their phones 96 times a day, and I'm sure it's much higher than that, meaning you have the same number of opportunities to show up on their lock screen and for them to see your name. Now, while some people check their email several times a day, you're also competing against non-relevant emails, so it's very easy to get lost in their inbox. And the open rates are much less for email. At the very least, they're going to open that text message and read it even if they don't respond. Keep doing it. Keep sending the text messages. It may take a year for them to respond, but they are listening. So unless they tell you to stop texting them or unless they block you, then keep going. Now, if you're authentic and you're not salesy, this is the other reason why text is ideal. It's a personalized form of communication. So even if you mass text people, you can write in a way that feels personalized to them where they think you're the only one that they're writing. And because it's so personal, they also feel more obligated to respond. But most importantly, they're reading it. It also speeds up lead generation and conversion. With email, you're waiting for them to open it if they ever do. And with social media, you're hoping that the algorithm puts you in front of them. And while you need to be doing both of those, text messaging helps you get in front of your leads first. And when done correctly, allows you to establish a relationship with them while seeing you as the expert. It's also extremely affordable. So let's break this down. First of all, who are you texting? You always need to organize your CRM into different groups. So for instance, you may have your cold leads, your warm leads, and your hot leads. These are 3 different groups. So the messaging they receive could be very different. Versus your past clients is an entirely different group. And then your top clients, your A clients who refer you all the business, that is an entirely different group as well. And then maybe the people that you've recently seen at an open house in the past few months, that's another group. By separating people in a few different groups, you can very quickly personalize the messaging and convert them to clients. Once again, it's all about relationships and connections. This way, this is not like a cold email or an email where they're going to read it and know that it's just a basic newsletter. They will actually feel like you're connecting with them and forming a relationship. So what are we going to use texting for? So obviously you can write a text message or you can include a video. So those are the 2 modes that we're going to get information across. And of course, you can also provide a GIF as well. The great thing about texting is you can be professional all the way to very casual. And based on the information you're sharing, you will rotate in between the 2 or somewhere on the spectrum. So one way you'll be using text is just a personal connection. You'll be checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, seeing how their family is, and just seeing how life is going. This is a very general text, just checking in on them, nothing real estate related. Do not bring up real estate. We want to make sure that we're balancing the text that we send them so they don't feel like every time you're texting them that they're getting sold to. Otherwise, they will quit responding. Once again, this is about building relationships. Texts are personal, so we have to be personal. The second thing we're going to do is wish them well on certain holidays. Outside of the group, you can use text to wish them well on their birthday. So creating a general birthday video and then sending that out to them on their birthdays is always a great idea. I actually do this on Facebook because Facebook tells me when their birthday is, and then I send it to them through a DM on Facebook. The third thing is breaking news. This is a great way for you to be seen as the expert, but for them to feel like they're in on whatever is happening. Tell them something that maybe they feel like no one else gets to know. People always love to be the first person to know something. Market updates are always a great thing to share. Now, of course, if they're a colder lead or a past client, I would not be sending these as often. If they're a hot lead, then they may want to know these more often, depending on where they are in the buying process. So the content you share does get altered based on where they are in your pipeline. And then inviting them to different events, whether it's an event you're hosting, an event in the community, or maybe it's an open house that you're having. And then, of course, if you have a hot new listing that you want to share. Some other things that you may want to consider when it comes to building up groups and relationships. So just like Facebook groups, think of groups that you can create for text messaging. So let's say you have a mom's group and you get together and you go to the park every single week. Well, using the app that I recommend, you're going to create a group for them as well. And then every now and then you're going to be texting them things like, hey, how are you doing? How's it going today? Did you get any sleep last night? Or, hey, you have to check out this restaurant. They actually have free food for kids 5 and under. Whatever the information is. Once again, they think you're only texting them. So you're building up those relationships, but you're doing it efficiently. And the goal is that you're taking authenticity and relationship building and you're converging it with efficiency. And when you find that balance, then you're doing it right. And when you do it right, then you get lead generation and conversions, which means more clients. So think about any other groups that you can create as far as various interests that you have. Mountain biking group, Jeep group, you get the idea. It can be real estate related, real estate adjacent, or not real estate related at all. It can be your kid's sports team. All right, we're moving on. There are many apps that you can choose to do this with, but I'm just going to recommend a few. In the end, you're going to have to do research and figure out what's best for you based on your preferences and your budget. And part of it comes down to the number of contacts you have as well. So the first app that I recommend that I started with and I actually still use, even though at this point, based on the number of contacts I have, it's a little inconvenient, but it still is my favorite, is the Reach app on my cell phone. Reach allows me to create various groups. I can go into it, I can create a message, I can send it to everybody in the group. And then what happens is it copies the message and pastes it to each individual. Now I do have to go and hit send for each individual, but the text message is coming from my cell phone and I'm not having to go to each individual myself and copy and paste it. So now once again, I'm having a one-on-one conversation. The text isn't coming from a third-party number and it's saving me time and it's super cheap. Now, when it comes to video on your cell phone, that's where we run into some problems. We have two issues. We have the length of the video and then we have the relationship between iOS and Androids. So if you want to send a video straight out, it's going to need to be very short or the file size is going to need to be smaller. So you're going to have to test that out. Or you're going to need another app like Dub or BombBomb to help you take that video and compress it and use it as a link. So Dub or BombBomb essentially allow you to upload the video and then they take that video and provide you a link to share the video with. With that link also comes a GIF that you can download so you can actually see your face whenever you share that link. Now, when I share that link from my Apple phone, my GIF does not show up on the Android, at least not through my text. So there are some downsides, but at least when I have a longer video, then the video will go through. Now, the other downside is that I have to rely on them clicking the link to see the video versus the video just going through. The upside is that there's actually information that gets to be shown to me. So every time they click on the link, I get a notification on if someone clicked on the link, how much of the video they watched, and there's also call to actions that I can provide. So after they watch the video, it can say, email me here, click here to sign up, text me with questions, etc. So there are certainly benefits to using Dub or BombBomb, and there's appropriate times to use it. Now, of course, there's a cost associated with these platforms. And with these platforms, you can actually mass text from them as well. At least Dub for sure. I haven't used BombBomb in a while. But I believe that they make you use a third-party number, which I personally don't like. For me, it confuses my client. But the first time I text them from there, I usually tell them this is my business number, and I still give them my regular number. Another option is to upload the video to YouTube and share a YouTube link, and you can make the YouTube video private. I have not done this myself. I've only shared YouTube links and made them public, so you'll have to play with that a little bit. But the great thing about links is now you can share video through your email marketing and you don't have to worry about the video not going through. So if you're not using text messaging and video in your marketing, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. Think about your marketing as four corners. One corner is face-to-face, one is social media, one is text, and one is email. And you can go ahead and throw snail mail in with email as well. If you don't have all four corners, you're going to have an opening and leads are going to fall through. I just made that up, but it's true. So do that research. Go ahead and text me with any questions. I'm actually going to text you today from the Reach app and you'll see what I'm talking about. So there's two ways you can go about this. You can either create a video and just make it directly to your buyers or sellers for this weekend and tell them you're looking forward to seeing them and you can't wait, and just text it to them directly. You can also do the same thing to a friend that you're going to hang out with this weekend. Or you can create a video for social media and talk about the importance for buyers when they're going and looking at properties to be aware that most homeowners have cameras and could potentially hear them when they're talking inside and outside of the property. All right, have an amazing weekend.